Hi, my name is Denise, and I'll be reviewing fantasy books for children and teens that feature diversity. Historically, fantasy has been dominated by white Western culture. Fantasy helps children and teens envision possibilities beyond their reality. Children and youth need to see themselves mirrored on the pages of the books they read. However, often, when diversity is present, people of color in fantasy books are not portrayed in a good light. In the book, The Dark Fantastic, the author explains that we need a more inclusive, expansive future for fantasy, and creating more diversity in fantasy will need to happen intentionally. And in fact, fantasy with diversity is more prevalent than before. In particular, we'll be looking at fantasy that features characters that are Black, Indigenous, Latinx, and Asian. All titles included are by culturally authentic authors. These two books feature Black characters. Thunder City is a fantasy with elements of steampunk. It's a typical good versus evil post-apocalypse story set in Mortal Engine's world with ghosts and unlikely heroes. Amari and the Night Brothers is an urban fantasy. Amari is desperately trying to find her brother and must join the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. In order to do so, she must pass 3 trials. These next 2 books feature Indigenous characters. Race to the Sun is set in the American Southwest. The main character is a monster slayer. She and her friends must find a way to get to the House of the Sun in order to get what they need to defeat the evil monsters. Elatsoy is a portal fantasy. It has elements of Apache folklore and is set in an alternate America that has magic. Ellie is searching for her cousin's murderer, helped along the way by her dog, who happens to be a ghost. These next 2 books feature Latinx characters. The Enchanted Life of Valentina Mejia is a portal fantasy. After an earthquake, Valentina and her brother fall through the earth to an alternate Colombia where all the old legends are true and where magical creatures are real. The Storm Runner is a fantasy novel based on Mayan mythology. The main character, Zane, is not popular and doesn't have many friends. He spends time exploring an extinct volcano he calls the Beast, only to find out that the volcano is actually a prison holding the Mayan god of death. A beautiful stranger helps Zane realize that magic, monsters, and Mayan gods are real. These next 2 books feature Asian characters. Momo Arishima Steals the Sword of the Wind is a portal urban fantasy and is inspired by Shinto mythology. It's a true hybrid fantasy. Momo's gravely ill mother has told her magical stories all her life. When Momo is attacked in the mall by a death hag, she is saved by a talking fox, and that is when she learns that the stories are real. Winston Chu versus the Whimsies is both urban and mythic fantasy. Winston Chu is given a magic broom, and then things around him start disappearing, including his sister. He must use magic to fight the magic that took his sister. And here are the sources that I used for this project. The Dark Fantastic is a great source that addresses the need for diversity in youth fantasy. And here are some other sources that I used.